And I was wondering who the Woodburn Kiwanis person was, and I knew it would be James.
Hello, Charles.
Okay, I have 6:30. I know Jim's going to be joining us as soon as his computer connects, but if it's okay, I say we go ahead and get this meeting going. If we would all stand or do the best you can, find a flag that's near you, and we'll do the flag salute. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, I tell you, I forgot how hard it is to do that with on a Zoom meeting with all the delays. But anyhow, here we are for the Hubbard Special City Council meeting for April 5th of 2022. We do have a pretty crisp agenda to go through, primarily focused around the consultant discussions, or at least the budget finance side. And topic number 5, we have no consent agenda. That will be all, of course, next week. So with that, Vicky, do you want to take it over on number 2, or at least agenda topic number 2?
Yes, I did find a consultant that would be that's interested in going ahead, and hold on just a moment. It looks like Jim Yonley has joined our meeting. So I found a consultant to prepare the 22-23 budget, and the personal service agreement has been over to the attorney's office, and it is now being presented before you. We had the consultant, Summer, has resigned, and she was doing our general ledger and balancing, reconciling. I've been scrambling looking for someone to replace her. Krista has offered to do that. So the personal services agreement that's before you needs to be amended, and this just came to fruition today that she was going to be able to take that piece of it on. So what I was hoping was that the council would authorize me to finish negotiating that piece of it and sign the agreement. This will all be approved by the city attorney.
Okay, it looks like we do finally have Jim online. Jim, were you able to catch any of that while you were connecting to the audio? Looks like he's still connecting. Okay, what I'm going to do is walk around and get comment from our various counselors and see if there's any concerns. We'll start with, well, James, you're right up there on the top left, at least on my screen. Any concerns that you might have with the consultant personnel service agreement?
No, I read it. It seems to be in line with what we're used to.
Okay. Robert, you're next. Can you hear us, Robert? Oh, there you are.
I'm sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. I have no concerns.
Okay. Tyler, do you have any concerns?
No concerns.
Okay. And, oh boy, Jim. I'm assuming Jim's still having connecting issues. Okay. So with this, Vicky, I'm assuming you're going to need a motion and a vote for you to be able to finalize and negotiate the final agreement.
Yes.
Okay, then I would like to make a motion that we authorize Vicky to work with the city attorney to put in place the personnel service agreement between the city of Hubbard and Wolf Consulting
I
for
second,
the, go ahead. So
I
we have a,
second that.
okay, we have a second. With that, all those in favor, say aye. Aye.
I,
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Okay, Vicky, that is done. Moving on to agenda topic 3, appoint financial consultant Krista Bauserman Wolf as budget officer. Now, is that the correct name still?
Yes, that is the correct name. That is the consultant who works for Wolf Consulting. And
Wonderful.
yeah,
Okay, I just wanted to double check. Okay, so with that, I would make a motion that we appoint as finance consultant Christina Bauserman Wolf as the budget officer.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, and Jim, can you hear us? I'm not sure if I hear you or not. All right. All those opposed say nay. I'm assuming Vicky will have to record it as a four vote, unless we can get Jim to, his audio starts working for him. Okay, we have agenda number 4, approved financial consultant personnel service agreement between the city of Hubbard and Marina Plus Company for consulting for ARPA funds. So Vicky, I'm assuming this is where we needed that additional help on the consulting side from financial expert to ensure that we have appropriated the funds correctly.
that is correct.
Okay, is there anything additional you want to mention on that?
Not at this time. She will strictly be working on ARPA funds. And that is all. Anything that has to do with ARPA, she will be the go-to person on that.
And I'm looking, do we have the service agreement? Will it be, I'm assuming it's not going to be the same. Here, I see it. It's in the back of the packet. My apologies. Okay, I'm just happy that we were able to find someone that's going to be able to help us with the ARPA, if I can get this acronym ever right. Moving around, let's go backwards this time. Jim, if you can hear us, do you have any concerns on the financial consultant to assist with the ARPA funds?
I do not.
Okay, Tyler, any concerns from you or any questions you might have?
No concern.
Okay, Robert, any concerns that you might have or questions for Vicky?
I have no concerns. My one question would be, do we anticipate actually needing to spend $20,000 to $35,000 a year for this consultant?
What is the cap on that? That's an excellent question.
Yeah, that was the cap on that. It's a not to exceed amount is what it is. So we don't know how much we're going to be. I mean, this is all kind of an unknown, but the attorney asked her to put a not to exceed amount on here. So
I understand that. I'm curious, in your opinion, do you anticipate that we're going to need to have that much consulting service in a particular year for the ARPA funds?
well, this is all new. I'm hoping that we're not going to be spending that kind of money, but it's hard to say because it's pretty extensive with the rules and regulations and the things that we may need to ask her or get guidance on this. It's all new, as everybody knows. So all I can say to that is I hope that we aren't going to spend that much money.
question I have, the ARPA funds, is that the funds that we agreed to spend with like the fire department, the wastewater?
Yes.
So now all of a sudden we have to pay. Should we have considered that reducing the ARPA funds a little bit to cover this fee?
I don't believe that you can spend the ARPA funds to pay a consultant to review or to assist you with the services. I don't think that's in there in the rules of the ARPA funds. If we had a regular finance person, then they would be doing this, I would imagine. But since we don't, we kind of, our hands are kind of tied on financial services right now.
And if I'm not mistaken, the request did come from council in the last session that we want to make sure that these funds are reviewed by a financial individual before we spend them.
That's correct.
Could we, yeah, I do agree with Robert, 20,000 is quite a lot. Is that a recommended coming from the Marion and the provider, for lack of a better term? Or is that just a number that was suggested to be put in by our attorney?
No, the attorney wanted them to have a not to exceed amount. The consultant was guesstimating potential hours that she may end up spending on this. So that is a potential amount that we could spend.
And is she considered a partner on that hourly rate, a managing consultant?
I believe she is a partner in the firm.
Okay, so that comes out to basically an hourly rate. We're looking at about 67 hours of effort then is what she's looking at, about a little over a week or about a week and a half of work.
Well, if you're calculating that in the total week, but it's going to be over a certain period of time.
Oh, I'm assuming so. I was just trying to break it down to what the hourly rate or how many hours that pretty much gets us for a partner to be taking a look at that. And that's about 67 hours.
In my experience working with consultants, they're gonna nail that not to exceed fee regardless. The city should expect to pay $20,000 for the fiscal year.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Tyler, at all. In fact, I would believe even 67 hours for us to review to make sure that the funds are going out properly is not unrealistic either. It just seems like a lot of money. It is.
I think what he's saying is, what if we just put a cap at 10,000? If we capped it at 10,000, would they keep their hours down to $10,000 worth? That's what he's saying. If you're going to say we'll give you 20,000, then they're going to make it 67 hours. If we say we're doing 10,000, then they're going to make it half of 67.
I think that she's going to. I think she's going to, try not to. She knows we're on a budget. She knows we're on a tight budget, and I don't think she's gonna, abuse that or whatever. I think she's gonna.
I don't think she'll abuse it. I just think $300 an hour, like doing the math, like Charles said, 67 hours. I don't think it's unreasonable that she would need that much time. So I'm saying if we approve this, we should expect that we're going to pay the 20,000, and I think that's a lot of money.
Why don't we do this if it's okay for the counselors here? Just kind of throwing this out here. I agree, James. Why don't we put down a 10,000 for the fiscal year ending in 2023, or at least a cap. If additional funds are needed, they can come back and request it through council. That gives her 33 hours of consulting time on these APRA funds, if I'm ever going to say that right. It's right in front of me now. My concern is I don't want to also lose. I know we're having a hard time finding any consultants to do this work. But maybe if we try to cap it at 10,000, and if the additional funds are needed, additional hours are needed, Vicky, just have you come back and request council to approve an additional limit. Would that be acceptable?
I don't know. She's the one, unfortunately, she wasn't able to attend the meeting. She's on a flight. So, like I said, she was estimating the hours that she was going to need. So I'm assuming she figures she may put that many hours into it. I do know that we've had issues with these contracts before where we needed additional work. It needed to be done. We were on a time schedule and we exceeded we were going to exceed or exceeded the amount on the contract. And then we had to push things out another month, or we were scrambling, or the consultant waited a month and then put us behind schedule on things just to ratify or extend the contract and the funds that were, not to exceed amount.
Hey, Mayor, do you think it would be unreasonable for us just to at least hear from her? I mean, I would like to get the consultant's take on maybe a rough outline of where she sees the hours and what she sees herself, utilizing those hours for. I'm not disagreeing with allotting the money. I just want to know what her plan is. I think just handing $20,000 without a plan might not be the best bet. If we could at least have a rough estimate or outline of what the hours and funds would go to, I would feel better about approving the amount.
It says on the sheet what it's going to go towards, right at the scope of work. That's what she's going to be working on. And right now, I know Melinda and Mike, they're working on their grant and they're waiting to be able to talk with a professional regarding the ARPA amounts. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mike and Melinda, so that they can, finish up their grant or move forward with their grant application. And I see these items don't have per hour per se, but it does tell you what she's going to be working on for the ARPA funds.
Yeah, that sounds, I was just going to agree with Vicky. That sounds about right for us. The longer we push this out, the longer it's going to take to get the stuff that we need to get started.
And unfortunately, she is not able to attend the meeting on the 12th because she's, like I said, she's currently hopping a plane to go do another job, and she'll be back. I think it said that, I think she said it was going to be on the 18th of April. So it wouldn't be until even May, unless we had held another special meeting. Right now is all these financial consultants or firms, they're all doing taxes and such.
I think that it's spelled out well enough that we can go ahead and move forward. That would be my opinion.
James?
Well, I'm reading it too again. We should probably move forward on it.
Okay, Jim?
Yeah, I'm okay with moving forward on it.
Okay. I would like to, though, Vicky, if we could, I know she's got on here, prepare and present information for city council. It would be good, though, if we can get at least a breakdown of how the hours are being consumed.
Oh, yes.
Without her actually coming in at $300 and presenting it to us. I mean, it'd just be good if we can get it even just written once in a while.
Okay, so those would be, I will have invoices from her. Is that what you want?
That'd be fine. I just want to make sure. I would like to kind of monitor how it's being spent. That's all.
Sure.
Because there is kind of some fluff in the language, but it is what it is. And I do know that the research and the classifications could take time. Okay. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we move forward with the finance consultant as stated in number 4 for consulting for the ARPA funds.
Do we have a second?
I'll go ahead and second that motion.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, say nay, but I'm pretty sure it was unanimous. So there you go.
Thank you.
Okay. Just everyone's just being cautious. Going on, agenda topic 5, authorize hiring of Christopher Davis as police officer at step B of the current Hubbard salary schedule effective April 1st, 2022. I do know I got to attend his swearing in ceremony the other day. It was great to see a new face, an eager face joining the police department. Any debate or questions, James?
Nope.
Okay, Robert.
I have none.
Okay, Tyler.
I have none.
Okay, and Jim.
I do not have any.
All right, I will go ahead and make a motion that we authorize the hiring of Christopher Davis as police officer at step B of the current Hubbard salary schedule effective April 1st, 2022.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. All those opposed say nay. And the motion carries. If you haven't had a chance, he was actually still down at the police department when I just stopped by there because I thought we were going to be meeting in person. Great guy. If you haven't had a chance, counselors, be sure to stop by when he's on duty or wave him down when he's driving around town. Nice kid. He really is. Okay, number 6, appearance of interested citizens. Do we have anyone online? If not, let's move on to other city business. James?
None.
Robert?
I have nothing.
Tyler?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay, Jim?
I do not have anything.
Okay. The only other thing is just make sure everyone has a chance to take a look at the city council agenda for next week. Any concerns or questions, just let Vicky know. Other than that, next agenda topic's adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I will second that. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, we're done
Aye.
with the special council. Thank you, Vicky, for getting this pulled together.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everybody.